I'm Joan Butts, the Australian Bridge Federation National Teaching Coordinator, and I'd like to introduce you to our Teacher Education program. The program, funded by the ABF, is for anyone who's interested in becoming a bridge teacher, and also for bridge teachers who'd like to keep up with the latest methods and ideas in bridge education. The first part of the program is called a Teacher Training Program. This is a course and it's given in various places all around Australia. It's based on Audrey Grant's Better Bridge Teacher Accreditation program that has proved successful in the United States for many years. STEAM is a helpful acronym that represents a number of areas to be considered when conducting a class. They are safety, that's S, T for timing, E for energy, A for attitude, and M for methods and materials. I'd like to look at each in turn now. S stands for safety. If we were introducing a physical sport, it would be accepted that a responsibility of the instructor is safety, even safety first. In a mental sport like bridge, protecting the students is often overlooked. The assumption is that a teacher is accountable for simply delivering the facts. Making sure our students are in a comfortable atmosphere will improve your class and your students will learn. It doesn't matter if you, as a teacher, knew more than anybody else on a particular topic. It won't make your students absorb it unless they're in a situation where they feel safe. A suggestion about making your students feel safe is to start with a teacher's guarantee. You just say at the beginning of a class, I'd like to start by giving you the teacher's guarantee. I won't ask you to answer any questions during the course unless you volunteer. It's straightforward to implement this tip. The obstacle is the instructor's lack of commitment to deliver the statement. It can be a challenge for a teacher to appreciate the contribution this simple assurance has on making our bridge classes an amazing adventure for students. Another way to make students feel safe in a class is actually to avoid praising an individual student during class when other students can hear. Teachers often think that saying good and well done is a way of encouraging their students, and if they're enthusiastic, they will definitely want to do this. But sometimes it has a negative effect on a class, just the same as you might think it has a positive effect if you're praising a student who's working particularly well. One of the things is that the other students might wonder, what are they not doing well if you're praising one student? Another point is that the student may not want to be held up as the good example in a class. It's much better to make your class one class, not highlight individuals in the class, and that'll work much better towards making your students feel safe. Finally, students sometimes infer that teachers who praise them don't really understand them, that the positive evaluation is used to save the teacher from having to take the time to understand what the students are really feeling. Another way to ensure that students are safe in a class is to realise that in bridge, the bidding is an area for development. Try not to tell students that they're right or wrong. Try to allow your students to be part of the class and let them feel that their opinions are valuable. So the bidding gives the best sort of opportunity for different opinions among the experts and the students. But play and defence are more exact sciences. There's usually one correct way to play a hand and one correct way to defend a hand. So the nature of the game, with the three categories of bidding, play and defence, gives a chance for a philosophy that combines opinion and fact, and the lesson plans reflect this philosophy. T stands for timing. Do we believe in starting a class on time? What seems to get in the way of being prompt? Is going beyond the advertised schedule giving extra value? Do most students want this extra time? If students come late, what methods do we use to try to get them there on time? The bottom line is that we start and end on time as advertised. No excuses. If students arrive late, they quietly come into the class without interrupting and we carry on. It usually self-corrects if we make no comments. It's almost a matter of integrity. We meet student expectations by starting and finishing promptly, as agreed. Should we have a break during the 2-hour class? It's up to you. Sometimes students like to get up at the end of 1 hour, go and have a cup of coffee, socialise with some of the class, and then come back to their work. The play of hands during the class. Rather than have a teacher talking for an hour and then students play hands after that, it's much better to keep the students' attention if you talk for about 10 minutes about a topic and then have the students play a deal. The way to keep energy levels high by playing the deal is to let the students experience it by bidding and playing the hand without interference from the teacher. Then at the end, they turn all their cards face up on the table, dummy style, with the highest cards at the edge of the table. Next, the bidding is discussed, carefully making sure that no student is put on the spot. It's emphasised that it's much easier to come up with an opinion looking at all of the hands after they've been played and talking with 3 other people at the table. After presenting information about the bidding, the teacher can walk through with the students card by card to go through the play and the defence. This is how you do it. E stands for energy. The quality of energy in a class is a key to success. When we enter a room with a skilled teacher, we can feel the positive, productive energy. How does a teacher keep a class energised? There are many ways. Here are a few. Motion. Action creates energy. It can take the form of laughing, moving from one place to another, or just being asked to raise our hand. Talk. Providing the opportunity for students to talk to one another and exchange ideas creates magic in our class. They're animated, they laugh, they learn, and they enjoy the kind of experience that puts them in a good position to easily learn bridge. Another way to create and maintain energy in our classes is called transitions. This is a way of having a hand on a table and discussing it during the lesson, and then asking the students to change certain cards in the hand to create a different hand, and then letting them all discuss what they would do if they held that hand. Here's an example. So this is the hand we just played, but what I'd like you to do now, in hearts, I want you to, whoever's got the hearts, I want you to add a low heart to the hand, right? And in diamonds, take away a low card, okay? So now we've got a different hand, and we'd be talking about, this is the guideline of 20 as it happens, and we'd say, would we open this hand? And we'd say 3 and 2 are 5 and 3 are 8 and 2 are 10 and 5 are 15 and 4 are 19. We wouldn't open this hand. All right, so let's try another change. In spades, take away 2 low spades. Whoever's got the spades, take 2 spades away from here. Right, any 2 low spades. And in clubs, add the queen and a low club. Right, okay. So now what would we do with this hand? Would we open this hand or not? A stands for attitude. What do we need to do to improve as a teacher? Most of the time the focus is on the subject matter. we try to improve our own bridge skills. But really, our classes will improve when we focus on teaching bridge as two distinct words, teaching and bridge. Of course, the subject matter and our knowledge of it affects teachers' performance. That's not the most important issue. The first question we probably ask is, what subjects will we teach? Then the conversation goes a bit deeper and we might say, how are we going to teach? What methods and techniques will we use? Occasionally, when it goes deeper still, we might ask why, for what purpose, and to what ends are we teaching? But the most important question of all is the who question. Who are we as teachers? How can we improve who we are in order to present better to a class? It's not so much bridge that we know, it's the smaller things that are actually very important to classes. One of them is our attention to detail. Attention to detail is an attitude that yields outstanding results in our classroom. To succeed, we need to have the attitude that success is not automatic. Like any sport or activity, it requires focus and practice. Knowing the material. Improving our familiarity with the material to be presented doesn't come from playing a lot of bridge. It comes as a result of careful study of the texts and the lesson plans. We need to have the text and the cards and practice them before we go into the class. We need to read from teachers' manuals and the plans aloud to decide where we're going to put the emphasis. The plan is a script. The success depends on the delivery. Practicing the method. Teaching with an emphasis on bidding, play and defence is a challenge. To deliver our lessons properly is an art. It takes many hours of practice before we're ready to do it in front of the class. M stands for methods and material. The preceding four elements, that's safety, timing, energy and attitude, are essential to delivering a first-rate lesson program. That said, they're not sufficient, and the teacher must pay attention to methods and material. Here's a video that explains it very well. It's from Audrey Grant's Better Bridge Teachers, and it's called Cards on the Table Method. Students will enjoy learning through actual cards. It's called the student-centred method of learning and allows the students to be actively participating in the class. It's an advantage that they're facing each other and have opportunities to talk among themselves. They learn more quickly. There's an increase in positive energy. The students feel empowered. Play of the hand and defence can be taught more effectively. Here are some ideas for getting the cards into suits, using deal records, using coded cards. The best way to suit a deck of cards is for one person to put their hand up on the table and everybody else put your clubs on top of their clubs and your hearts on top of their hearts, like this. We'll make up each of the deck will be in suits. So now everybody should control a suit. When you're making up the next hand, it's good for everybody to have a suit. I'll take the diamonds. This deal record, I've put it in the middle of the table, and the best way to do it is to simply make up the suit that you require. Don't make up partner's suit. Don't make up easts and wests. Just take the cards that you need, and when you've got them and check that you've got the right cards, I need the ace, jack, seven of hearts, move them to the left. So now you get the next suit. This is a really orderly way of making up cards. There we are. And at the end, you pass the cards and they've got exactly what they need. So next step is to check that you have the correct 13 cards that you require. And when that's done, pick them up and we can take the deal record off the table and we notice that the deal is north and we can bid and play the hand. The cards I'll be using now are from one of Audrey Grant's books. There are a number of cards which match the book. They're called coded cards. There are 32 hands throughout the book, and the way the students make the cards up is with these. This particular one is a guide card, and you put that in the middle of the table. Red's for north, yellow's for south, west is green, and east is blue. Give the students approximately a quarter of the deck. It doesn't matter how many cards they get, and ask them to make up a hand. The way you do this is that you ask them to focus on the pattern at the back of the cards. We'll make up the first deal. So ask them to look at the 1, which is in the top left-hand corner, and some ones will be blue, some ones green, some ones yellow, and some ones red. They should make up their own pile of green ones, blue ones, red ones, and yellow ones. And when they've done that, they'll give the red ones to the person who needs them, which is north. And they'll give the green ones to west. This way, we're all making up the same hand. Next, we need to make sure that we have the right 13 cards. So if we're sitting north, which is red, check that we have 13 red cards, red 1 cards. The other thing to notice is that these will tell you who the dealer is. There's a line underneath the colour that is the dealer. Here, my red card has a line underneath it, which means that I'm the dealer for this hand. This is another deck of coded cards. These were made a little bit earlier than the ones we've just practiced, which were coloured ones, and these are used just as effectively. I'm going to ask the students to make up 4-2, a particular hand, which means they cast their eye on the left down to 4 and then look across at deal 2. And instead of colours, you'll see that some are E for east, some are W for west, some are N for north, some are S for south. It's a very good idea to ask the students to put all their cards up the same way first before they actually start making up the hand. So class, let's make up 4-2 and we will then select our 13 cards. So is everyone right with that?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, so when you've made your own piles, then give them to the people who need them. North, east, south, and west. So when you have your cards, before you look at them, it's a good idea to check that you've got all the right cards. So you need 13 norths. Good. And the dealer on this hand is east. Using the best materials and these methods will ensure that even new teachers will enjoy success and have satisfied students. Here are recommended beginners materials. Here are materials for the next step. And here's a suggested curriculum for teaching bridge from beginner to advanced. If you complete the teacher's workbook exercises that are attached on the ABF site after viewing this video and visiting Better Bridge Teachers, you will gain points towards accreditation online. Actually attending a teacher training program in person will give you 15 points. After teacher training programs, the ABF is offering continued support for teachers via professional development days. These are days which are based on content for lessons to help teachers prepare for intermediate and advanced lessons. Teacher training programs concentrate more on how to teach. Professional development days concentrate on what to teach. Some other aids for teachers on the ABF site are the ABF Forum. It's an online help desk for bridge teachers. Top Australian players and experienced teachers provide answers to questions on a broad range of topics posted by teachers. All bridge teachers are able to access and join the conversations. Teachers' newsletters are also issued approximately once a month, which contain information about upcoming workshops, latest developments in teaching and materials, and tips and hints for teachers. Also, there's an education resource and support website. This offers training videos for players and teachers, information about resources available to assist teachers in their role, and profiles of teachers who have achieved their accreditation status. Thanks for watching this video. This was the first step towards becoming an ABF accredited teacher. If you're interested in more details, please go to the ABF website, Education, Teachers and Accreditation.